Hello guys, my name is Troy. Welcome back to my channel. Today y'all better get your tea ready so that we can spill it, because today I'm going to be talking about all the worst books I've read in 2020. So guys, I finally got my new microphone, so hopefully the audio is sounding better, because not even gonna lie, my audio just with the camera was super bad. Here's a little sound comparison that I did a few minutes earlier. Alright guys, so this is my voice with the microphone on, and this is my voice with the microphone off. I think it sounds a lot better and just a lot less like echoey. Today when we're talking about the books that I did not necessarily enjoy this year. So this list is a list of 6 books throughout the year that I either did not finish, one book I lied about finishing and keep lying about finishing it for some reason, and then some other books I just did not enjoy as much. So yeah, these are gonna be the 6 worst books I read in 2020. We'll get into that in a second. But I also want to quickly clarify some things. I did an announcement in a video last week, and I basically announced the next chapter book club, and I kind of did not really explain it well, and I made it seem that like this was a me thing, when I know you guys have been asking me for like a book club or something that we could do together, and this is the book club. I'm just a host of it. You guys are supposed to be like, you know, a part of it, and we're all going to read these books together and talk about them during the live streams, which I think the live streams can be my channel. But yeah, basically the next chapter book club is hosted by me, Life as Monet, Nitty Ready Reads, Shakroopin Books, Break Even Books, and Nat's Reading Nook or something. Those are the creators going to be hosting it, but you guys can join the book club. I'll leave the Goodreads group in the description, so make sure to join that. Sign up for a Goodreads account. We're discussing the book in there, and we're also reading Slay by Brittany Morris this month, so I highly encourage you guys to pick up Slay as well and read it with us in the next chapter book club, because then we'll be discussing it during the live stream. This is a book club for you guys, so I highly encourage you to participate. Sorry, I am wasting too much time with this intro. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel for more bookish content every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Make sure to comment down below what was your least favorite books of the year, and let's jump into my first book. Alright guys, so we're going in chronological order, and the first book that I did not necessarily enjoy was A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. This is a non-spoiler review, by the way, of this book. So now, I really enjoyed the first few books of the series, or like the first 3, or like the main trilogy, but just this spin-off novella, the 3.5, like, no, this was not hot. This was not a hot pick for me, and I did not enjoy it. This is basically, you know, like a peaceful book. Like, after the events of the big war in the 3rd book, there's peace in the world, and Feyre is just trying to get back to her roots. She's finding out what to do now that she's not, like, constantly in danger, and she doesn't have to, like, constantly go on missions and dangerous and perilous journeys and all that stuff. So she's just like, what do I do? Can I paint? It's just kind of like a nonsensical, like, Christmas special book with the winter solstice, and I did not like this book. It was so unnecessary, and it didn't add anything really to the plot. This is really just for like the ultra fans that really want some extra content. It feels more like a fan fiction. It's just not a hot book. As I said, it's actually a cold book because it's in the winter. It was just so unnecessary, boring, did not add to the plot. I feel like I left a Goodreads update or something, or Goodreads review, which you can see. And this more just felt like Sarah J. Maas was writing this for money, and like this didn't really seem like coming out of her heart. This didn't really seem like one of her passion books. This just seemed like she was trying to make money off of making a whole new novella, and it's just, I did not like it. I did not like the really quick feel to it. It was not a book to me. It was just like more like a fan fiction, like I said before. See, that's really all I have to say. Just was not impressive, kind of disappointed me, underwhelming. Alrighty guys, this next pick is from February, Three Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake, and let's just say I was kind of disappointed. So this book is basically about this island, and the queen births triplets, and when the triplets become 16, I guess, like, they have to compete for the throne, I guess. Each triplet grows up in a separate, like, county. Like, there's 3 different kind of sections of the island, 3 different groups of people. There's, like, the elementals, the poisoners, and the naturalists, and so they grow up in different sections of the world, and when they're 16 they have to hunt each other. This kind of story follows this unusual year where basically all 3 queens are not very powerful at all, and they're not ready to kill each other, especially because they have formed connections in the past. And so we follow kind of the path before, you know, competition in this bloodlust kind of begins, and I think the next book will go more deeper into it. This was kind of like my favorite out of the least favorites, so it wasn't like I didn't really enjoy it that much. I'll just say the middle was so bad. In the beginning, like the ending was really good and had me hooked. You know, I want to read the next few books. It was just the middle was so slow. I mean, like, I don't even know what the point of this book was. I was expecting this really cool competition, like with 3 queens, and there would just be this one main character, but we followed all 3 queens, and like just the language in the world. I just did not grow attached to the world. The characters were kind of flat, and just a lot of the stuff was kind of flat and dull. But when we got to the end, the whole mystery and conspiracy thing got like really, really insane, and I just loved the ending. So I will be continuing with this series, I think. I just think the middle was a little bit too slow, so it still kind of fell into one of my least favorites. Alright guys, so the next book is one that I've been lied about reading. I'm doing the honest booktuber tag at some point. There's one question that's like, one book did you lie about reading? And I don't know why I keep lying about reading this book and like enjoying it and stuff, because I DNF'd it. I just didn't have time to read it, and it wasn't capturing my interest. I probably could have finished it. It was just slow, and I just wanted to read other books at the time. But that book was We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Fazl. This book just did not catch my interest, dude. I mean, I read like 200 pages, so it wasn't that early of a DNF. I tried to read it, and I would have kept reading it. I just didn't have enough time, and it wasn't, you know, good enough for me to keep reading it. I'll kind of just try to summarize it quickly, but basically there's 2 main characters, the Hunter and the Prince of Death. The Hunter is this girl who disguises herself as a boy because women are treated badly in this new, like, high fantasy world. She goes out into the forest every single day to bring back food for her village, and there's the Prince of Death that is ordered to kill the Hunter, and basically the Hunter is causing trouble with the Empire and stuff, and they have to go across this magical quest and stuff. I just do not like this book because it's so slow, and it has the old feel to it, which I have another book that has another old feel to it. I like more of the modern writing and just like more of the light and fun writing. It's just kind of like slow, boring, dull. There are some really good messages in here. It's not that good to really keep going. It just never really captured my interest, and it just kind of fell flat, and some of this stuff came really expectedly. A lot of this stuff that happened was not surprising. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on this book. It just really did not catch my interest. I don't know why I just did not tell you guys that I finished it. Like, I could have just said I DNF'd this, but I never said that, and I kept saying that I enjoyed it. So I do not recommend this, and I'm sorry for lying to you guys. I don't know why I did that, but yeah, let's get on to the next book. Alright, we are on to the 4th book, which I kind of just flashed it, but I read this on my 24-hour readathon, which I would highly recommend you guys check it out. I'll leave it up there for you guys, but I read like, what, 3 or 4 books on the readathon and 1,200 pages, and it was a really cool reading vlog, so definitely check that out. But this was Renegades by Marissa Meyer, and I'll kind of open up the cover. But so many people say this they love this book, and this is kind of my unpopular opinion. I didn't like it. Like, it just didn't catch my interest, and I actually got a comment recently that was like, I didn't like Renegades, and I was like, yes! But anyways, I ended up DNFing this at page 150. I don't know if like the sleep deprivation and like reading for 24 hours straight made me not enjoy this book as much. Like, I'm sure if I started this book on a fresh mind and kind of read it in increments and not force myself to read, I might have enjoyed this more. I found it kind of just not interesting from the start. Like, I was expecting something different, and I've just never ever fell in love with superheroes in the first place. The superpower thing was interesting, and I feel like if we got more of that, but there's only like 1 action scene, and I also thought like the main character was going to be on the good side. For some reason, we followed the main character who's on the evil side, so it didn't make sense for me. Too confusing, too dull, too boring, and I just initially kind of just cut contact with this around page 150, and I kept falling asleep and just dozing off. Like, you could see in all my time lapses, I was like, probably will try this again someday. I just did not enjoy it. When I was reading it, like, I kept dozing off. So yeah, this was just not a great book. I mean, I know you guys say that it speeds up when it gets later into the book, but I just don't have that time or patience to get to the part where it speeds up, if you know what I'm saying. Next up, I never talked about this book because I just read it, 60 pages of it, for like a reading prompt or something, and I just did not like it. It was a waste of time. But this was A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, and I was so excited to read this book. I think I will try this again as well. It did not interest me, and I feel like at the time, I was just like, I don't want to continue with this, because I was reading a book for the prompt, like, the book has a white cover, and this is a beautiful white cover. That's why I was really excited to read it. People were like, I love this book so much, and so many people talk about it, but I just did not fall in love, I guess. Yeah, it just was kind of boring. Like, we were immediately set in London, and he was just traveling places. There's so much dialogue, and there's, like, politicalness, and I just really never got interested. Like, I need to get interested in a book to kind of continue with it, and, like, I didn't really see, like, what the problem was. Like, the problem didn't really start, and that's something I really am having problems with lately. Like, if you don't have the problem of the story, like, in the early stages, like, I just am not going to get interested. Like, I'm not gonna wait for the problem to start. I need the problem, and then we have the solution. Like, I need the problem early on in the book, and he's talking about like magic and dialogue and world building, and like, I just want the problem to start. I just need a little more quickness. It's just slow. Like, we need the story to unfold a little bit better, and it also just needs to catch my interest a little bit more because it was kind of confusing and dull. And last up, we've got A Wizard of Earthsea by Ursula K. Le Guin. I recently read this in a reading vlog. I'll leave that up there for you guys, but my mom picked out a book for me. She picked out this book for a reading vlog when I hit 1,000 subscribers, which we hit 1,100 subscribers. That's so crazy. But this book was only average. It was one of my least favorites. And now when I was reading this, I was trying to put my head on like what was making it so bad. I was like, what's the problem with it? Like, there was something with the writing that I did not understand. I was like, why is this so bad? Why is this so bad? I found out after I read the book, it was like 1969 when this was published. That makes sense now because the writing is just so old, which I don't like. And that means like their high fantasy is so intense. Like, there's so much details in this book. It's so detailed, and it makes me like go cross-eyed. Like, if I read the first page to you guys, he's born in a lonely village called 10 Alders, high in the mountain at the end of the north vale. Below the village, the pastures and plowed lands of the vale slope downward level below the sea, and the bends on the river are above the village, only forests rise below. What? How am I supposed to understand what all this crap is? Like, so much for my brain to handle, and especially when it gets into the magic. The magic system is so confusing. It's just a confusing book with so much details. There's so many freaking islands. Like, it's so much. But I will say, after like the first 50 pages, it did speed up, and I did start to enjoy it a little bit more. To get past the part when he started like fighting dragons, and he started like going on adventures to defeat this thing that he brought into the world. He went to this magical school. So this wasn't a totally bad book. I rated this 3.5 stars, but usually if I rate a book 3 stars, there's something wrong with it. Before its old writing, it was not that bad because I usually don't like classics. But yeah, that's all the books that I did not like. Let's go into an outro. Alright guys, so that wraps up this video. These are the 6 books that I did not enjoy this year. A lot of them I DNF'd or didn't talk about or lied to you about. I know like talking about the books I didn't like is not really going to help you, but I think it's fun just sometimes to just talk about books that I don't like, because I always talk about books that I like. I need to kind of pick up on those skills of like reading books that I don't like. But yeah, if you guys like this video, make sure to give it a like. I'd really appreciate it. That's a really great way to support my channel. Also, make sure to subscribe to my channel down below for content every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. We are publishing content so much. Make sure you join the book club group on Goodreads and make an account, join that book club group, and also make sure to pick up Slay and join the book club group. Also, comment down below what were your least favorites. Have you read any of these books? What were your thoughts on them? Make sure to comment down below your thoughts. And if you want to watch my last video, I will leave it up there. It was my Aragon reading vlog, like rereading a childhood favorite. So I think that's all I gotta say. Thank you guys so much for watching and just sticking around with me. I love you guys so much, and you guys are truly the best. Keep reading lots, and I will, see you then on Saturday. So yeah, love you guys so much. Bye!